Welcome everyone to day 3 of CGTN's Media Challengers campaign. Good morning to you from the city of Wuhan. You are looking at some beautiful, gorgeous and magnificent views of the Yangtze River. This is the busiest waterway here in China, but not just in China, it's actually the busiest waterway in the entire world. Now, the Yangtze River, of course, is China's longest river. It's the 3rd longest in the world as well, and it really represents the civilization of Chinese culture. It's otherwise known as China's Mother River as well. You're also seeing some gorgeous views of Wuhan's bridges. This city is known as the City of Rivers, but it's also known as the City of Bridges. There are now 11 bridges crossing the Yangtze. They're all here in Wuhan. One of the most iconic ones is called the Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge, first built some 60 years ago. And back then, it really took the whole nation's effort to build that one bridge. But now there are 11 bridges crossing the Yangtze. The first one was the Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge, built over 60 years ago. It's also the Mid-Autumn Festival here in China, so happy Mid-Autumn Festival if you celebrate that. The Mid-Autumn Festival, of course, symbolizes family reunion. So if you are celebrating with family today, great for you, good for you. We are celebrating our team reunion. Our Media Challenger team is here in Wuhan. We're at a place called Hubu Lane. This is a very famous food street here in downtown Wuhan, where we are learning to make hot dry noodles, the iconic, I would say, the defining dish of Wuhan. Follow me. This is Enoch, one of our media challengers, and he's been learning from the master of hot dry noodles himself, Master Wan. And you are an apprentice right now, but I feel you are really up to par to soon become a master yourself as well, because Master Wan has been teaching you.
Yes,
right?
yes,
yeah.
Indeed. It has been a very, very exciting process. What has been the most impressive and interesting is that Master Wan himself is the 3rd generation and 3rd founder. This whole entire store started over 40 years ago with his grandfather and then father, and passing on to him now.
Yeah.
And in a minute, I have the honor to make the first official bowl of hot dry noodle. But in order to have a final tip and to perfect this noodle, I'm going to ask Master Wan to demonstrate one last time how this is done. Wan 师傅可以帮忙展示一下最后一次怎么样去弄一个最正宗的一个热干面是怎么样，然后可以告诉我一些秘诀吗？
可以，我把这2碗面下了，你就来，好不好？好了。
So it is a normal day at Wuhan. So Master Wan is going to finish this bowl first, and then he will demonstrate how this is done. In the meanwhile, let me tell you a little bit more about hot dry noodle. And I would love to get some comments online right now. Is that will you have noodle for breakfast? Because hot dry noodle, what we'll demonstrate to you in a minute, is what the Wuhan people have for every single day at breakfast. And in additional, having talked to Master Wan, is that in additional to noodle, they will have what we call the Chinese donuts, which we can see over there. And at the same time, we have something called the egg yolk rice wine. So it is a very, very interesting combination. So Master Wan is ready. So 万师傅可以给我展示一下最后一次怎么样去最正宗的去下面这个过程，然后给我一点点的那个秘诀是怎么做的更好的。对。
好的，那我现在开始好不好？
好，
你看着啊。
Yeah.
这个下面之前呢，水一定要开的，水不开就不好吃啊。
So it's extremely important to ensure the water is fully boiled before the noodle actually go in.
这样进去烫。
So I'm not sure whether the camera can see it. The whisk sort of motion is extremely important. And 应该大概烫多久左右呢？
这样的啊，一般正常的情况，
对
，10秒钟左右就可以了。
10秒钟就可以了。
这个根据这个老年人和年轻人的这个现实情况，老年人就给它多烫一下，年轻人就给它少烫一下。
为什么呢？
这样少烫的那个口感劲道硬一些。
明白。
那个老年人吃的
软一些，就不用那么硬。
对，就这样了。你看对象是谁啊？
是。
比如说你吧，
对，
比较年轻， 我就给你少烫一下。
那你应该5秒就可以了，你那么年轻。
好的，好的，好的，这个面就烫好了。
好，
那我就来给放佐料。
好。然后我给那个摄像机解释一下您刚刚说那个部分哈，谢谢您。So Master Wan just gave me a very interesting tip, and this is what makes this store extremely popular in this whole entire Hubu Lane and the whole of Wuhan. Is that Master Wan told me it's extremely important to customize to the taste and preference. And what he observed is that for younger generation or younger people, you might need to boil that for less, while for the elderly, more. The reason why is that the more you boil the noodle, the softer it would be. It's easier for the elderly to take in, while the younger generation tends to like a more texture and the taste of noodle if it stays for roughly around 10 seconds or so. So I'm now going to give this a go to see whether I pass the test. 好，万师傅，我也来尝试一下是怎么样子的。好，来吧。好，谢谢您。
这一碗
好，
你来帮他烫，这是客人的。
好，
可以吧？
可以。
好，烫少一点。
少一点。
啊、
好，谢谢您。
来，你来吧。这个我把火打开啊。
好，已经打开了吗？
我打开。
Oh, so first of all, make sure it is boiled, and this is going to be the first official bowl of hot dry noodle of the hour. I'm extremely honored, and I hope we'll pass the test. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 我应该烫多少秒好呢？
把这个肉勺要下去一点。
好。
对。啊，
可以了，大概。
差不多了，拿这个碗，这是热干面的碗。
Yeah. So it's important to drain this, right? With this bowl, official slogan of Wuhan, Wuhan different every day. 好。
你要来给佐料吗？你先看一下，
好，我看一下。
先看一下，下一碗你再来展示。
好，那你帮我下一个面吧，你帮我下一面就好。
好。那我帮你下一碗啊。
好。So what we see in front of us might be complicated, but I'm going to explain to you step by step how to make the most authentic hot dry noodle. So let's come on in to take a look. So what we have in front of us is there's a lot of color. There's a lot of color in front of us. There is soy sauce, there's sesame oil, there's this secret sauce which has over 20 gourmet ingredients in this. So this is a hot dry noodle. First of all, it's important to have some seasoning. So a little bit of seasoning. 欢迎指导一下我啊。好，的味精。And then a spoonful of soy sauce. And then a spoonful of sesame oil. This has very good smell into this. A very savoring feeling towards this as well. And then this is a secret sauce. This is a secret sauce that it takes years to perfect. One generous spoonful on this across the noodle here. Very important. Add some color into this hot dry noodle. This is diced carrots and some spring onion. And more importantly, which is what this is very famous for. It's a spicy red oil. It's a hot oil. 这个可以了，对吗？It is spicy, so I'm not gonna have too much here. Comment online if you like this spicy or not. And at the same time, please give us a like if you like what you're seeing. It is very extremely important on this. And this the final step and the most important step is to ensure all the sauce is covered across all the different noodles. I hope you're not. I hope you have your meal, because otherwise, this will be making you very hungry. So I'm going to make the second bowl. It is a very busy day. I'm going to pass it on to my colleagues, Jane, Jane, what you busy? Tell us what you're busy with in the morning.
Thank you, Enoch. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Jane. First of all, happy Mid-Autumn Festival today to our audiences and people from all around the world. So we are right now at Wan Hazi 红油面粉馆 Wan Hazi Hot Dry Noodles restaurant. So since it's a special festival today, so we kind of have a temporary one-day festival promotion. So you can see we have two posters, simple but clear. It says if you take pictures of our fabulous breakfast and our stores and you publish all of them on your WeChat moments, and if you get 10 likes before you finish your breakfast, you would get a perfectly packaged take-out hot dry noodles. So you can see for the sanitary problem, I'm still wearing the gloves, and I am now an oranda for this restaurant, and I'm in charge of cleaning the tables and serving our customers. So I'm still, so we can see that we have two customers here. So let's check out whether they could participate in this campaign or not. 您好，师傅，请问怎么称呼？
他姓张，我姓曾。
张师傅、曾师傅，你们好。就是我们现在因为是中秋节嘛，首先祝大家中秋节快乐。我们今天有一个特别的活动，就是如果您就是愿意拍就是早餐，还有我们的店铺，就是然后发布在您的朋友圈，但是然后在您完成就是吃完早餐之前，如果您的朋友圈能得到10个点赞的话，您每位就能得到一个我们这种外包装的，就是真空包装的热干面。您两位想参加这个活动吗？
我们没时间了，马上就要上班了。
好的，没有关系，就是不是强制的，就是完全是。好的，那
时间来不及了。
好的，那咱们早餐怎么样？
可以。我们天天在这吃。
好的。您两位是武汉本地人吗？
不是。
OK。
外地的。但是
也是非常喜欢我们的热干面，是吗？
对，可以。
OK， 好的。
天天在这吃啊。
好的，您两位请慢用。
好，谢谢。
So our two customers are kind of in a rush, so they don't have time to join this our activity, but it's no big deal. So even though they are not local Wuhan people, but they also enjoy our fabulous Wuhan hot dry noodles. So I'm still waiting my first lucky guest to have this bonus. So since I'm still in the middle of waiting, so Michael, could you please help me check on what my friends Cindy and Jonathan doing right now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just for some context in terms of why we're here, right?
Yeah.
So we're here to learn how to make hot, dry noodles, first of all, and then we're helping Master Wan sort of operate his food booth.
Yeah.
Because right now we're actually in the middle of Hot Dry Noodle Festival here in Wuhan. It's also the Mid-Autumn Festival. And I mean, Master Wan is really a hard worker. He's been doing this for decades now. And you guys have basically mirrored his day, right? So Master Wan gets up pretty much every day at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
3 a.m. to prep his food stall for business that usually happens, the busiest time is around 7 to 8 a.m. And then we came here at, well, you guys came very early, right?
Yeah,
you were
for
here
sure.
by 4:30,
4:30.
5-ish to really prep for today's work.
Yeah.
Today is the Mid-Autumn Festival though, so in terms of an early morning rush, perhaps not that much compared to regular times because it's a holiday time. But we came up with some very creative ideas, right? So we came up with the idea of really having a campaign to help Master Wan sell his hot dry noodles, which is, again, like you said, if you take a picture eating hot dry noodles, you get 10 likes, and then you get a free package of this.
Yeah.
And this is really fresh, right? So this is a lot of the hot dry noodles, when they're packaged, they are already made, pre-made, pre-frozen, but this one comes out fresh.
Yeah,
so you can
for
only
sure.
keep that for 7 days. It's extremely fresh. Right, so we're coming up with new and creative ways to help Master Wan sell his hot dry noodles, right? And we're going to talk more about that in a second. But as you can see, for the rest of the food lane, it's quite quiet. But Master Wan's stall, there are already people, already a lot of people here, right? There's 2 customers over there. We've had 2 over here. And then we have this gentleman here as well, who's eating a piping hot bowl of hot dry noodles. 师傅您好，您是当地的武汉人吗？
不是，我是河南的武汉人，
当地武汉人啊，
都是武汉长江大桥从这个时候出生的。
哦，武
500
汉长江大桥的时候，您大概那个时候出生的？
就是通水的时候出生的。
哦，OK，好。然后这个家您常来吗？万哈子这家？
我从小吃到大，吃了差不多50多年了。
从小吃到大，
就是吃他不了，因为原来是他父母做，我们就开始吃。我小学在这个小学读的书。
哇 ，OK。So we've really met a local here. This gentleman here was born when the Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge was first built, and I believe that was back in the late 1950s, 1957, if I remember correctly. And this gentleman says that he's been eating here at Wan Hazi, Master Wan's restaurant for pretty much 5 decades.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
5 decades he's been a returnee customer, and what we've discovered is, you know, the local people really love hot dry noodles. They have it every single day.
Yeah.
那师傅，您感觉你这个几乎每天也在吃这个面，吃的不腻吗？几乎每天都在吃。
基本上就是一个蛋饺，一个那个面，就是我们武汉的国家的标配，就是我们这吃了。
但是吃的也不腻，你感觉？
对，它不腻的，因为做的很传统。
OK。
就是说它真的它甚至的。把他奶奶的那些老的传统，他又更新，他搞的那个熬的牛骨头汤，熬的蛮到位，所以说他是那个味，跟他奶奶那个时候那个味又不一样，他越做越好了。
所以您感觉这个比较传统，但是还带一点新鲜感，对吗？
对。
OK。Yeah。
是生备的。有改进了。
Okay. So I mean, this is a very traditional a dish, traditional hot dry noodles that's been made pretty much the same way for about 5 decades. But on and on throughout the times, there are some new flavors, some new techniques being added to this. And like I said, this gentleman here has been eating this for 5 decades. And what he's having right here, I mean, it looks like a type of soup, but this is actually a rice wine. It's a special type of rice wine, egg rice wine. Yeah, 米酒。叫什么？
我们武汉的叫土鸡蛋米酒。
Okay. 土鸡蛋米酒. So this is egg rice wine, and you chase that down with some hot dry noodles, right? So what we learned from Master Wan is that you have to have a trifecta, right, for the hot dry noodles. This is the core. This is the essence. You got to have that, but then you got to have the egg rice wine as well. And then what else? Do you remember?
The 面窝, the Chinese donut.
The Chinese donut, right? So that's where you got to have all 3. This gentleman here is only having 2 this morning, but you got to have the hot dry noodles, the Chinese donut, the fried Chinese donut, and then you got to chase that down with some egg rice wine. So you have a taste of that first, the hot dry noodle, and then you have a bite of the Chinese donut, and then you wash it all down to cleanse your palate with some egg rice wine, which is sweet. It's got a really nice texture to it too, right? So right here, this is the breakfast of champions, and this gentleman here has been eating it for 5 decades.
But still, the hot dry noodle is perfect match for everything. So you can match them, match everything, match other food with hot dry noodles, and it still tastes good.
Yeah, it looks good too.
我们年轻的时候，一碗面一个热，再是一个面窝。真的，我们现在年纪大了，就吃一碗面，做个蛋饺。
然后就感觉很满足了，对吧？
对，都吃饱了。它的面蛋得蛮筋道，做得蛮强的。
OK。
所以说它屋里，甚至比那么是这边的这几十家吧。
最好的是吗？
I see.
它的人气。
Yeah, I mean, so. Okay, so this gentleman is saying here that he likes this the best. I mean, there are other hot dry noodle places along this lane, but this gentleman prefers this.
Is the best.
Is the best in his view, right? Because he prefers the texture. He thinks it's just the right firmness. Yeah. Okay. So Jane here came up with this campaign idea, and we're sort of splitting our roles to help Master Wan sell his hot dry noodles. Not that he really needs our help in terms of selling hot dry noodles. He basically sells out every single day. But we're trying to help him out, trying to kick it up, spice it up a notch. And then our 2 other media challengers, Cindy as well as Jonathan, they're trying to grab customers to come over here and get some hot dry noodles from Master Wan. And if we can take a look at what they're doing. 来，摄信老师，我们看一看我们这2位媒体勇士他们在拉拢顾客。
你经常吃哈？哦。 那您今天要不要尝一碗？
Oh, hey, he's a neighbor. He eats this all the time, but
He's
it's a
regular
holiday, so
customers.
he's not having it today.
Look, I mean, not every single sale is going to be successful.
I know. I mean, I've even got the sample in my
Yeah.
hands for people to see.
Somebody else is coming. You want to grab this guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Try and sell him.
哎，
您好。
吃早饭没有？
It just walks away.
I think when they're on the bike, they just kind of go.
No one said
They
this was going to
flow.
be an easy job.
It's not an
right?
easy job. It's
Yeah.
not an easy job.
Especially if it's
Tough
Mid-Autumn Festival. It's what? It's 7:30-ish here in China.
It's because it's the
It's Mid-Autumn
holiday.
Festival, yeah.
I mean, if it was the holiday, I would have had a late night last night, and I wouldn't be getting up this early.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you slept really late last night. But on a normal working day, this food lane would be absolutely packed if it was not a holiday.
You know, but yeah.
That's
I
good.
know,
That's
yeah,
good. You got to try hard. You got to work hard for your sale.
We're working hard.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
we've got a table over here
Yeah.
that is eating.
No, but so let's tell our audience our original plan. Our original plan was this. We were going to get Cindy to dance and cause a lot of commotion, right? That was the original plan, was to get Cindy to dance.
Can you
then
do a dance?
she would cause a lot of commotion. It would draw attention from the people going through this lane,
Is there
right?
someone here joining me? Dance
To dance?
together. Yes.
Well, I've got a mic in my hand, so I can't join you.
I've got noodles in my hand.
I can take the bowl of noodles from
I can
your
take
hand.
the mic.
You cannot take the mic from my hand. I can take the bowl of noodles from your hand, and you can dance with Cindy.
I really
cause
don't
a
know how to
commotion,
dance.
and then people will huddle around, wonder what the heck is going on, and
I'm
then we
not
can
really
sell
sure
some
I know
noodles.
how to
to have
dance.
tried.
But,
Yeah?
Yeah. So how
You
do
can
you
give it a
start
try.
with the dance?
Or how about this? You can come up with some catchy slogan,
We can start
right?
a new.
And then just start hollering, start yelling.
we can do
right?
a noodle dance.
Noodle dance.
Yeah.
What's a noodle dance?
I don't
Show
know.
us the noodle dance.
No.
Show us the
Dance,
noodle dance.
show-
Dancing
Showtime.
with the noodles in your hand.
Okay, do it.
Do it.
How do you
Do it,
Exactly.
Jonathan.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
你想买一碗热干面不？万哈子的热干面非常正宗。
5块钱一碗。
祖祖代代
然后这
哎，你老
代代
字号，
的传宗
中秋节吃一碗嘛。
吃早饭没有？哦，他们有早饭。下一次在这儿
Okay,
吃巴士。
so we've tried how many people now? Like 3 to 4 people, and we've all failed. So Cindy,
But we will
it's
still
I
try.
we can
think-
still try. Yeah.
Yes.
I think，哎，你吃早饭没有？
没有。
你没有？那你要不要
那你尝一下热
这个
干面，
5块钱一碗？
哎呀，那很便宜的，还是的。
对吧？
很好吃，
哎
你要不要试一下？
是啊，是啊。
哎，师傅，你是哪里的？
我是本地人。
本地人啊，那你肯定晓得这一家
我。晓得呀。
哦，专门过来吃的嘎。
哎对。
哦，要的。
要的要的，
那我就
你
不介绍了。
说一下
哦，
不用介绍。
Success.
Success. He's an old customer.
No, but still,
Where's the customer?
success.
He's an old customer.
Was that Chengdu Fan?
Yeah.
Hold on, bring the camera back real quick. So that we'll count that as a success.
One success.
One success, but you
One
just
out of
sold
10.
him, Jonathan. You just sold him
He's
in
a local.
Chengdu dialect. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say dialect, in Chengdu Hua. Like
Yeah, Chengdu dialect.
dialect. You
Yeah.
can call it Chengdu dialect,
Yeah.
right? So we're here in Wuhan. We're still quite a ways away from Chengdu, which is the capital of Sichuan province.
Yeah.
We're here in the capital of Hubei province. Cindy, come in the camera. Come on, come in. But Jonathan, for those of you who don't know, this is a media challenger who has been in
Yes.
China for 23 years. Okay, and
Hi,
your first
everybody.
language is actually Chengdu Hua now.
Well,
Sichuan dialect.
the first part of my life, it was English, but then I started to learn Chinese as a first language. That's
Yeah.
how I picked it up. So it's actually sort of my first language now.
Okay. But you were speaking with him in a Sichuan dialect, in
Sichuan
Chengdu dialect.
which
Sichuan
isn't
dialect.
completely different from, because we're all on the same river.
That's true.
We're all on the Yangtze River. It kind of starts in Sichuan and it comes down, flows down from Chengdu to Chongqing, and then all the way to Wuhan, and then Shanghai, and into the ocean.
So I mean, so when you speak here in Wuhan as well, they can definitely understand you. You guys just had a conversation, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because of the history. Because this is a river transport city, and a lot of the boats they come from upriver,
Yeah.
and so they have to be able to communicate.
It is the busiest waterway, not just in China, but in the entire world.
So I think that's why the languages here are all you can
They're related.
understand
They're
them.
related. You can understand them.
Interrelated,
Yeah. But I mean, I just find it really cool that when we communicate as a group, as a media challenger group, Jonathan's first choice the first things that are coming out of your mouth is actually Chinese, right? It's
Yes,
actually Chengdu
Chinese,
dialect.
Chengdu
Yeah,
yes.
which is Chengdunese, yeah, which I find it absolutely fascinating. But while we're talking, probably a lot of customers walk by us,
yeah, we
and then
need
we
more
weren't able to help
customers.
master. But take a look at this. Take a look at the commotion, the hustle and bustle
Oh,
right
wow,
now.
it's
right?
picking up. It's picking up.
来，我们摄像老师，我们看一看，现在万老板的摊子已经开始营业了啊！这个营业虽然是中秋节，但是很多人在排队了已经。Okay, so even though it's Mid-Autumn Festival, you can see the rest of the lane. The rest of the lane is pretty much quiet, but here at Wan Hazi, Master Wan's restaurant, yeah, it's pretty busy now.
It's not that no one else is open. It's that no one else has any business. He's took
Yeah.
all the business on the street
Pretty much, yeah.
because it's like the number
The
one
number
spot
one
here.
The number one,
in the lane.
yeah,
really
according to
is.
many people, that he has the best hot dry noodles. He's been here for decades. He's learned this skill essentially from his mother and father, who learned it from his grandparents. So it's really hustle and bustle here. Wow, a lot of people, a lot of people. I mean, I tried my hand at making hot dry noodles as well. Enoch made it seem easy, okay, but it's actually kind of difficult, I feel. I mean, the wrist action, it takes a lot of work to practice to really make the hot dry noodle, I
Yeah,
feel.
actually,
the wrist
these
action,
noodles, I mixed these myself.
Oh, you mix these yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
I from learning from the master,
Yeah.
I've learned how to mix them to my exact specifications that I love.
There you go. And you had bowls and bowls of these already.
This
is
is-
what, your fourth, fifth bowl already
Yes,
in our 2 days
exactly,
here?
yeah.
Okay. So Jonathan really likes this.
Yes.
And you've had the Chinese donut and you chased it down with the egg rice wine
Yes.
as well.
It's the trifecta.
Okay.
It's perfect
It's his
mixture.
secret recipe
Well,
for
not-
those toppings, right?
Well, everybody would have a secret recipe because it's so customizable, right? I like it with a little bit more hot oil.
Yeah, so do I,
Yeah.
of course. Hot oil and sesame
Yeah.
paste is good. Good mixture.
And you really love spicy food, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can really down your chili peppers.
Yes. And
Yeah.
the hot oil is, you add enough, it's fairly spicy.
It's fairly spicy.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fairly
really
spicy.
great.
But I think the key question here is, are we going to see Cindy dance? I mean, is that going to happen or not to draw more customers? Not that Mr. Wan needs more customers, but are we
I
going to...
need someone to join me
Look.
as a participant.
You can show us your talent yourself, right? Because what is the official slogan of our Media Challengers campaign?
We can.
That's
Yes, we can.
our slogan for Wuhan, right? It's
Oh, oh.
Wuhan, we're here, we can.
See your possibilities.
See your possibilities. And what are Cindy's possibilities? You are a good jazz dancer, right? We got to see that
Kind of.
possibility. What do you mean, kind of? Are you going to show that talent to us or not? If you're not going to
Yes,
show
I'm
us,
going to show that
Okay,
in 2 minutes.
in
Give
2
me
minutes.
some time, and
Okay.
I need to find the music background.
you don't need to find a music background. Try and show us a few moves.
Improvise.
It doesn't
But if
improvise.
there
Improvise.
isn't music, then I cannot.
Okay, how about this? Cindy, we'll give you a few minutes to prepare, right? Because we've already put it out there. We've put it out there to our audience
That's
that
a
Cindy's a
challenge.
great dancer, right?
She's not only, this is a media challenge.
It's a media challenge.
Can I ask someone to join me?
Yes.
Jonathan can join you.
No, you can ask anyone.
You can ask anyone,
else, right?
anyone. Yeah,
anyone you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how talented our media challengers are. We can learn hot dry noodles. We can learn how to make that. We can learn how to dance. Yeah. So
We can
it's
teach people how to dance.
we can teach people how to dance as
Yes.
well, right? How about that? So we'll give you a few minutes to prepare. All right. Get ready to see
find
what.
someone to dance with me.
Sure, you can find someone, and we've put it out there. So even if you don't dance today, I'm sure our audience online will ask you to dance sometime, okay, on your personal account or whatever. So how about this? I'm gonna go check in with Enoch again over at the other side of the food stall, and then we'll give you some time to prepare. Okay, so how this works is Master Wan has this original food stall right here. That's his original restaurant. This is where he serves his customers in the morning, okay? He serves his customers in the morning. That's the original one. And then in the afternoon, we head towards this side. It's a newer booth. And what's cool about this booth is our media challengers took the time to really decorate this entire place. So the writing that you see there, that was handwritten, hand-painted by Enoch and Cindy. And we've really sort of done our best to decorate this place to draw more attention to the food booth. Enoch here knows not only how to make hot dry noodles, but he knows how to package them too, right? To ship them all across the country, right? So Enoch, tell us more about what you're doing.
Hi again. My name is Enoch. I'm a CGTN Media Challenger. So I was across the store just now, but I'm now here. So what you see in front of you should be very familiar with what I introduced at the very, very beginning. So let me finish this first. So there you go. Here. So let me tell you a little bit. The story behind this packaging is actually very, very interesting. At the beginning of 2020, it seems like a very, very long time ago now. But this city was at a lockdown. That was at the beginning of COVID-19 outbreak. But however, although there was a lot of changes, one thing that did not change was the love of authentic hot dry noodle in this city. Of course, they aren't able to come to the store because of lockdown. So therefore, and this is a very, very interesting part, and the part that I love so much about this particular store, because of the generation passed on. The fourth generation, so the son of Master Wan that you saw just now, came up with this idea. Why don't we package the noodle and deliver them across to the city of Wuhan? And even more interesting and more innovative was that each of the different compound and different area of apartments, they actually self-organize of the order. So they will order in bulk. And at the end, what Master Wang and his son and his team have managed to do is to do what I'm about to do hundreds and thousands of times and deliver this to Wuhan and eventually expand to nationwide. So let me show what is in this package. So in this package, this is carrot, which is very familiar with what you saw just now. This is the hot oil, the very, very famous hot oil itself. This is the sesame paste, and this is the secret sauce. Comment right now online and see what do you think is missing from the ingredient that we have demonstrated at the beginning. This is a test of memory, and I will tell you when this package is done. So what you need to do is put them into the package itself, slide them in, so you see the color itself, right, inside. And then what I've been doing is putting 250 grams of 80% cooked hot dry noodles. So therefore, they can do the remaining 20% at their home. So you slide them into the package itself, put them into the sealer, press it lightly, and that's done. So this will be fresh and will be good for 7 days. So let's go back online. Let's go back to you. Do you remember? Let's put this aside first. Otherwise, it's not good for the sauce. Do you remember what is missing from this? So the one which are very, very good in remembering would realize the green color is missing. The green onion is missing. And the other sauce is the soy sauce is missing. So let me tell you why. The soy sauce is being integrated into the secret sauce. So this way, there's less packaging, it's more environmentally friendly. Secondly, green onion is missing. It's because we want this to be good for 7 days. But of course, if it's chopped up onion, 7 days, they might go bad. So this has been extremely popular. This has been sold since the beginning of 2020 across nationwide. Over hundreds of thousands of packages delivered across to the home. And because of this new innovative generation, because of Master Wan's son of this store, we are able to now share this authentic hot dry noodle, the taste of Wuhan, to more people across the country. And what we hope one day, people in front of the camera, our international friends from around the world, are able to enjoy this too. Coincidentally, one of my friends across the Pacific is also online with me. So we have shown Christine, my friend, how is hot dry noodle being made. She have given it a go with somewhat an alternative and replacement version of this. So why don't we go to Christine? Christine, share with us, how do you feel and your thoughts?
First of all, I would like to say that it's really not easy to make these hot dry noodles. So kudos to the people who really perfected the recipe. I know it takes years to make the secret sauce, and it's really quite the dish. So I'm very, very impressed. And I would like to apologize to all the people for botching the recipe last night because I tried to make it myself and it's not easy.
First of all, tell me who is the handsome guy or pretty girl in front of you on your lap? What's his or her name?
This is my son. His name is Carter Justice L. So he's half Belgian, half American, well, half American Chinese. And so
I hope when Carl grew up, he would be able to taste the authentic taste of hot dry noodle. Anyway, please tell me any other experiences or any questions you have, Master Wang, that I can pass on behalf of you.
Yeah, I would love to know what this like 20 ingredient secret recipe is. I know I'm never going to find out, but oh my goodness, that's got to be a really great recipe. I'm willing to pay a lot of money for that recipe.
Do you think, so where are you right now, by the way? Remind us, where are you right now?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm actually sitting in my kitchen. This is where I actually made the recipe last night. I tried to make the Wuhan hot dry noodles SoCal style. So instead of the chili oil, I used sriracha because that was made in Irwindale, California. So I added my own touch to the hot dry noodles.
Did Carl have a taste of this hot dry noodle?
No.
Does he like spicy, first of all? Does he like the spicy taste?
He does not. He likes formula a lot.
I know, right? And any other question, any other thoughts? After hearing this story, this history of this,
yes.
What do you think?
I actually do have another question because I heard that the whisking is very important. So I would like to know why that's so important to whisk it a certain way and how you can perfect that, really.
So it takes 40 years of practice. But I think one of the things that Master Wang have shared with us when we were practicing, and I try to be this apprentice to be, is that it is very, very important to ensure that it is well cooked, but at the same time not overcooked, right? So to ensure that first the water is boiled, and therefore it can cook for the remaining 20% of the noodle, such that it is perfect for the texture. Yes. And any other thoughts that you want to share?
Yes, another thing that I found really interesting is that so he adjusts the noodles to the age of the customers, right? So when you're a little bit older, they prefer to have the soft noodles as opposed to a little bit not so well done, because I guess the younger crowd likes it better when it's a little less cooked. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. So why do you tell us, the audience online, would you like it more well cooked or less well done? Would you like the noodle softer or harder? What would
harder?
Be your
I like it more al dente, so I would go for the less boiling. But maybe that's because I'm on the younger side. Not that I feel young, but
of course, this is of course correct. And any other thoughts that you would like to share? I think Carl might have something that you want to share with us. But any other thoughts? Particularly the story side. After hearing this, what is the feeling and how do you feel about this?
Well, my feelings is just that the past couple of days I've been doing this challenge virtually and I feel so left out because I see all the beauty that Wuhan has to offer and the cuisine, and it's really, really hard to see everything from my kitchen table and just watching you guys having such a great time and cooking all these things. I just wish I was there,
Of course. Tell us, have you been to Wuhan yourself? And if
No.
you have, which part of Wuhan that you would love to visit first?
I mean, I would like to go to where you guys are right now, where they have all the noodle stalls, where they have the breakfast every morning.
Of course. And for the audience who have joined us from the CGTN Media Challenge yesterday, the live stream, we also show, in additional to hot dry noodle, throughout this 150-meter long Hubu Street, there's over not thousands, over hundreds of food store and restaurant. There's a tons of great Wuhan local cuisine that anyone can taste, and will ensure that you be ensure that you come here without having any lunch before, because otherwise you might not have enough room to fit in this delicious food. So thank you, Christine, joining us. Thank you, Carl. Hi, Carl.
Say bye bye.
I hope Carl can be in China and Wuhan sometime soon. I'm going to pass it back to Michael. Thank you so much, Christine, for joining us. And thank you so much for your sharing.
You know, you've seen Christine's version of the hot dry noodle, right?
Yes,
in our group chat.
Yes.
And then I was telling Christine earlier, I would pay for that. I would pay for that because
it was a very, very good effort, right?
It was very good.
It have color,
Yeah.
if everything. But unfortunately, what it doesn't have is the authenticity of Wuhan, which only come from Master Wang.
Of course.
And hopefully one day, with me being an apprentice, getting a taste and hints of that too.
Well, I mean, I think you can graduate to master now, right? Because you've had your hand on it, and then you've also packaged it as well. Yeah. I feel like you're a hot dry noodle expert already after our 2 days here.
I'm falling in love with the city.
Yeah, who isn't? I'm falling in love with this city. Yeah. And I mean, Christine, she put sriracha on it, that kind of hot sauce instead of hot oil on it. So that's the Southern California version of it. And we were thinking of how do we spice this up SoCal style. We were thinking of avocado, and perhaps avocado maybe just a little bit weird on hot dry noodles. But I think sriracha really hits a spot in terms of adding that Southern California twist.
Absolutely. And one thing that I had in mind is that, obviously this will be the first version of a Christine version of hot dry noodle.
Yeah.
And Master Wan's, what we see now is it will have gone through hundreds of iterations.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the second version of the Southern California hot dry noodle.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to tasting it as well.
Sriracha, there's pickled cabbage in Christine's version as well. And I think, you really put the package story quite well. This was the son's idea, Master Wan's son's idea. This is such a great idea because it allows a small business like this to really prosper, because China's e-commerce is, I would say, the strongest in the world, right? The infrastructure is there, the logistics network is there. This is the largest e-commerce market in the world, the largest mobile user base in the world. So that all of that combined together allows Master Wan, a small business, to really sell his product all across the country and hopefully all around the world as well.
Yes,
right?
Hopefully one day this is what the aim of this.
Exactly, and it's so simple because you can just scan a barcode, right? There's a barcode somewhere, there's a QR code.
Just right
there. That's how easy it is, right? For any small business entrepreneur to just scan that barcode right there, you can follow that account and then you can just buy right there. Yeah. So really good story. Yeah. That's how you scale up in China if you have the dream and ambition to do it.
So let me say one more thing and to demonstrate to the online audience how popular this is. I was talking to Master Wang, Master Wang's son, and also his wife as well. Like whenever someone orders, they order in batches. It's not just ones and twos. They order in 10s and 20s. Yeah. This is how popular this is. And because of the innovation, we're enabling more people to taste the hot dry noodle.
I mean, the only thing I would change on this packaging is that, this says hot dry noodles in Chinese, but I would really make Wan Hazi, the name of the restaurant, a little bit bigger. Yes. Because for those who don't understand Chinese, this is a very unique name, right? Hazi is a nickname in Wuhan dialect. It has its own story as well. It's a very unique and interesting name, and I would just highlight that a little bit more, to capitalize on the brand.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you'd like to know the story behind this, tell us in the comment. Maybe you will get a reply of the secret story behind this name itself.
Or you can just come to Wuhan and ask Master Wan himself, right? Just come to Wuhan and ask Mr. Wan himself. Where is Master Wan? Master Wan is still hard at work making noodles. 来，摄像老师，我们找一下万师傅，他现在这块已经是营业了很久了，然后现在还在做热干面。我们跟万师傅聊几句啊，看看。万师傅啊。万叔啊，首先非常感谢啊，我们过来，然后也在这儿打扰您的这个生意啊，所以非常感谢，让我们有这么美好的一个体验。Right, so I'm just thanking Mr. Wan for being so gracious and allowing us to partake in his family tradition, to partake in a very traditional Wuhan culture, a Wuhan tradition. 万师傅，我就感觉您的这个除了这个热干面啊，应该卖一卖你这个酱啊，因为你这个酱有这么多调料，也是一个家传的一个东西，是不是？
是的，是的，秘制的。
秘制的，对吧？
对对对。
Okay, so I was just telling Master Wan, I feel like, to really capitalize on his brand, he should sell his sauces as well. There's 20 plus ingredients in his secret family recipe, so why not sell the sauce in addition to the hot dry noodles? And I feel like we're really trying to disturb business here. 我们也可以看到啊，已经很多人陆陆续续的过来在买万师傅的这个热干面。So 哇，现在这个生意真的也是在起来了哈，万师傅。
哎，现在人慢慢都来了。
也慢慢都来了 Yeah. So really, we're seeing more and more people coming to Master Wan's restaurant. So I'm going to leave Master Wan alone because he's super busy right now. And then let's check in with Cindy to see if she's ready to give us that dance, right? Because she promised us, this is part of our promotion, was that she was going to do maybe a little dance, cause some commotion, and get more people to come over to Master Wan's restaurant. Yeah, we'll leave Master Wan to selling his hot dry noodles and doing what he does best. But we have the wife of Master Wan, who I believe is going to join Cindy in terms of our dance. And I can't do this because I feel like I can learn rocket science before I learn how to dance. I have no dancing bones in my body. If you teach me for 1,000 hours, I won't be able to learn how to dance. But Cindy here, I guess maybe you're just born with it, right? You're a good dancer. And then we've got Mrs. Wan here as well. 阿姨，你好。也会跟我们的这个媒体勇士一起跳一下，对吧？学着跳 ，OK。
我跟阿姨学着跳，我学新的舞种。
Nice.
Why don't we have you dancing with the store in the background?
Sure, if you like, that's a good
I
idea.
think that's
yeah?
a perfect situation.
Let's do that. Okay, so let's move the camera here. 来，摄像老师跟我们在一起。我们的媒体勇士和万老板的夫人会在这个店面开始一起跳。All right, so Mrs. Wan and Cindy are gonna do a little dance, maybe just for this restaurant, right in front of the store. Okay, so let's take a look. What do you got for us? The stage is yours.
Broom dance， 来，阿姨开始吧。是这样是吧？
音乐吗？没有。
没有音乐。
Is this jazz dancing?
Not jazz.
What is it? Social dancing. Okay, and we're gonna have some music too.
We don't need music.
You don't need the music.
Yes,
Okay.
just
All right.
well-
Just show us.
当时吧
This can be our finale.
对，气你退啊，你左脚退，
左脚退，好好，
气
3步是吧？
对，蹦擦擦，蹦擦擦，蹦擦擦。
Dum da da 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 dum da da. Wow, Mrs. Wan seems like she's having a lot of fun. Cindy seems like she's having a lot of fun as well.
Yes,
My
it's my
goodness.
first time.
Mrs. Wan is such a good dancer, I feel. Such a nice posture. 哇，万老板的您的这个夫人真的是非常好啊，跳的我感觉这个姿势或者什么都很到位啊。您学过吗？
没学过。
没有学过。
对，没学过。
Oh, okay, so she hasn't learned dancing before, but I think she's a natural, right? She's definitely a natural when it comes to dancing. So 谢谢您，谢谢阿姨啊。
好，不谢。
Thank you.
我跟他跳。
Good, very good. Wow, so that's I guess how we're gonna end it here at Master Wan's food stall, where he sells his hot dry noodles. We had such a fun time, and we end it with a great ballroom dance. That was sort of the original plan, to really dance and cause people to gather around and come to Master Wan's noodle shop. Enoch, come on in. We're going to say goodbye to our audience. It's been such a great experience. We've got Jonathan here as well, Jane,
How
Cindy.
many noodles do you
Yeah.
sell?
Hold on. How did
many
our
bars?
promotion campaign go? Did anybody get to 10 likes? Did you check?
Did you check online?
Not yet. But
Not yet,
I will
okay.
check that maybe after the
Okay.
other live.
I
the
think
deal is
people is
still
too
ongoing.
busy eating hot dry noodles.
They could be. They're too busy eating instead of sending moments, right?
Yes,
but the
yes.
promotion is still going to be here for the
Yes,
entire day.
of course,
right?
of course.
So, yeah, I mean, this was such a fun experience. I think it's a
Absolutely.
privilege, and like you said, it's an honor to really come to
Exactly,
Master
an honor.
Wan's noodle shop, to learn to be a part of such a rich tradition, to be a part of, sort of this iconic dish here in Wuhan, this iconic tradition in Wuhan. Some final concluding thoughts, anyone?
I would like to wish Master Wan
Yeah.
to whatever he wishes, because it's really, he's been working for 40 years to satisfy everyone's breakfast in Wuhan, all his great customers. And I hope that he has everything that he wants.
Yeah.
For me, this Wan Hazi hot dry noodle has been a story of resilience, have been stories of innovation, have been a story of tradition. It have not many stores, particularly around the world, have pulled through what we, have gone through in 2020. It's because of their persistence that built resilience, and that's why they are what it is today. They have been doing this for over 40 years, and I'm not surprised if I have the opportunity to live for another 40 years, I'll be seeing them again thriving and doing very, very well as well. It's because of the traditional and foundation that's been built.
Hold on, don't jinx yourself. You're going to do another 40 years, fine, okay? Not a problem, okay? But I like that, it represents resiliency,
Yes.
it represents innovation, it represents tradition,
Yes.
and it's great to hear the fourth generation is going to carry that, and hopefully more on the e-commerce side as well,
Yes.
and selling all across the country and around the world. Yeah.
And I think the reputation builds on the quality and taste. So it must have the reason why this store can last for over 40 years and through generation and generation. So I hope through our whole campaign and people can really know about Wuhan and really know about the hot dry noodles. And people who love Wuhan or who didn't know Wuhan pretty well, or they have already been here, so they please come and support Wuhan and support our traditional food and traditional everything. Yeah.
And Jane, what you've been telling us for the past few days is you really focus on the people, right?
Yeah, for
the
sure.
people make up the city. The people they are the ones that make the city resilient and
Yeah.
innovative. All of them have their own unique stories. They all pulled through a very tough year last year, but they're back. I think they're better than ever. They've got that resilient spirit, that vigilant spirit. So all the best to the people of Wuhan as well. They are really the foundation, the fabric of this city,
Yes.
this hero city.
Yes, and like you said the other day, they are the silent heroes, and they are actually pretty tough, and maybe even more tougher than we can ever think during the special period. So because of this, we can have our safe and sun and like this pro-Paris environment, and right now, so we are really grateful for people in Wuhan.
Yeah. And like we all agree, the pandemic is just a blip. It's just a blip in Wuhan's history. They've pulled through it. And Wuhan should not just be defined by the pandemic, right? It's much, much more than that. This city already, it started its commercial history some 2,000 odd years ago, right? It's a great mesh of old and new.
Yeah.
Cindy, what about you?
I think my teammates did a amazing conclusion work. They took my words. They took my words already, and I wish we could congratulate on what we have done these days, and wish Wan Hazi store have a bright future.
Okay, so either way, we're all hot, dry noodle masters now, I feel.
Yeah.
Experts,
Fans.
right? Fans, experts in terms of understanding the history, the culture, how to make it as well. So, 万老板、万师傅，再次感谢啊！再次感谢给我们这样非常美好、精彩的一个经验和一个体验，谢谢啊！ Just thanking Master Wan again for giving us such an opportunity to be a part of this tradition here in Wuhan. And let's end it with our slogan, with our Team Wuhan slogan. Ready? We're
Yes.
here. Ready? We'll start with that.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, Team Wuhan. Wuhan, we can! We're Wuhan. Let's see that again.
Okay.
Take two. Take
Okay.
two. Right?
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Wuhan, we're here. Wuhan, we can! See you later, guys.
See you.